Hey everyone, welcome back to an incredibly important episode of Awards Whisperers. I'm John, my co-host. Yay!
Yay, I'm here.
But we are joined by a bevy of legends in the awards world. Our friends Rob, Erik, and Alfie. How you guys doing?
Hi.
Excellent.
Enjoying a bevy with my bevy.
There you go.
So I'm glad we're all here to talk about the most important part of award season, which is how June Squibb can still win. We're all aligned that she's going to. No, we're here to do our final Oscar predictions, top to bottom, bottom to top, verse side.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to go through it all. But before we began, I actually was curious. I'd love to chat. We've had SAG nominations come out, and we've had BAFTA nominations. Any big thoughts after those two awards released their nominations? Any big changes to the race? Anything that comes to mind?
Messy. Messy as well as usual. Messy as usual. So I don't know. I kind of went with McGough for most of these, honestly. Yeah.
The thing that I'm looking at as I do my finals predictions in the acting category specifically is the pairing of lead and supporting, and when that's going to happen here and when it's not, and the situations and chances of a supporting contender getting in without their lead, as well as obviously the chances of two from the same film, and when that happens and how it happens and why it happens and will it happen this year. But yeah, I'm also kind of poking little holes in almost every movie as to like one thing that they'll miss, or maybe two things that they'll miss, because it's so rare that we're going to see such a completely fluid film be able to hit every single thing. Yeah, obviously it happens, but sometimes it doesn't.
I agree.
Yeah, there's a couple of the races are more wide open than we thought, I think, going into the televised awards. Like supporting actor has kind of crumbled a bit and is way open to some newer contenders. Supporting actress, that last slot or two. That sounds bad. That sounds like I'm saying the other word, but I'm not. I'm saying slot, S-L-O-T. That last slot or two.
Hey, this works perfect for,
the last two slots
and the last showgirl.
But we know one.
The last slot. That should be the name of her casino.
Yeah,
I would go to there. Yes.
And then continues to baffle. Best actress continues to baffle. It's by far the most competitive category with the most possibilities. But I'm excited to talk about it all. Yeah. Any thoughts from Rob or Alfie on BAFTA or SAG?
I think the biggest surprise was the complete upswing for A Complete Unknown, because we got the DJ nomination for Mangled, we got the SAG nominations for Ensemble and for Barbaro. That, I think all of that was just they're gonna go for it.
Right.
Activated.
Yeah. The only thing I'm curious about if the extended voting is going to impact anything, or everything is just going to be name checked as far as the nominations are going to mirror like the SAG more than normal. That's the only thing I'm going to be looking out to see if for some reason people who maybe didn't get a chance to vote, or maybe they did and they didn't have time for the movies, they just check. So I'm going to be curious to see. That's going to be one of the things I'm super curious about.
Yeah.
I also wonder and probably expect this will be the lowest voter turnout since COVID, since 2020.
Yeah,
right.
Possibly.
Yeah, we know Stephen King's not voting, so.
Oh, he said he's not?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
He thinks it all should be canceled.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve.
I know.
One less vote for Amelia Perez.
and the substance.
Yeah.
Oh well.
There goes Smile 2's one Best Picture vote.
Right.
All right. Well, let's dive into the actual Oscar nominations themselves, or the predictions. Jessica, how do you want to start? Where do you want to start? I'm going to throw it over to you.
So the first one I have is live action short. Would that work?
Beautiful.
As in, beautiful titles, great titles, because
The title picking game that we love to play.
So I have Anuja, Dovecote, The Men Who Could Not Remain Silent, The Masterpiece, and An Orange from Jaffa, based on absolutely nothing.
We have 3 of the same, which I think is pretty impressive.
Wow.
I am 5 for 5 with Chesco. I did these.
Wow.
I did these on January 10th. I haven't changed them yet, and I don't think I'm going to update them. I feel pretty good about all of these.
I have one of Cheska's.
Which one?
So, the Masterpiece.
Mm.
I'm Not a Robot, The Ice Cream Man. Who doesn't like ice cream? Room Taken, and The Last Ranger. Again, based on nothing.
I have Anuja, Compatriot, Edge of Space, The Man Who Could Not Be Silent, and An Orange from Jaffa. Here's my thoughts. I think people will think Anuja is a Nora. They'll be confused, and the very elderly members will accidentally vote for it. Compatriot sounds like it's a Clint Eastwood movie. People like that. Edge of Space. People like space right now. I don't know. The Man Who Could Not Be Silent was the longest title.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And An Orange from Jaffa just sounds like the most live action short title in existence.
Sounds very Trumpy.
The man who
could be silent.
Couldn't remain silent. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I feel like we're all wrong, so that's probably good. An amalgamation of what we just threw out. Yeah, probably.
I think if any of us are like 1 for 5, that's amazing. That's great.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we talked offline just right before we started. The Dovecote is the one that has Zoe Saldana in it.
In what capacity?
As an actress.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Maybe I'll take that space and put that in.
And it's funny because usually as we get really close to the nominations, we see a lot of directors, producers, actors board a movie as an executive producer kind of at the last minute. But there hasn't been like a whole lot of that. And there really isn't like a Riz Ahmed sort of like, here is the short film. Here's the one. This is a weird year that I feel that none of these in any of the short categories has any type of footprint this year.
Well, there's the Ukraine one.
By title but not like not in the same way that like we've seen in years past. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I just feel like it's one of those situations where if you actually don't watch these and you just see that there's one about the Ukraine, you're going to be like, sure, this feels like the one.
Or
check.
You'll get the one vote that's like, oh, is that still happening? Really? I thought we fixed that.
Oh my god.
Let's move on to documentary short.
All right. Should I go?
Go for it.
Okay. Death by Number, Incident, I Am Ready Wharton, Michaela's Voice, and Once Upon a Time in Ukraine.
So we're 5 for 5 again.
Oh my god, stop stalking me.
Stop it.
I don't know, like
god,
the same
talk about titles.
the same exact sort of method of these all sound like they could make it in.
Yeah.
Based on the title. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 3 of 5. I have Death by Numbers, Eternal Father, Michaela's Voice, A Letter to the Oscar Voters, Once Upon a Time in Ukraine, and A Swim Lesson.
Yeah.
I have a couple of those, I think. Yeah, I have I have the only girl in the orchestra because it reminds me of the one that won last year, the Last Repair Shop. So I just going with that. Once Upon a Time in Ukraine, Death by Numbers, Planet Walker, an Instrument of a Beating Heart, which I don't know what the hell that sounds like. It's about something, about medicine or something.
Yeah, I've got the Beating Heart and Only Girl in the World by Rihanna. As definite like next up. Oh yeah, these sound good.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, good luck to you guys.
Good luck to you with those titles.
Yeah,
Godspeed.
try. Yeah.
Let's do animated short and just finish the hat trick.
Mm-hmm.
I have Au revoir du monde. Is that what it's called? I think I wrote the wrong one down, but the Au revoir one. Beautiful men, a crab in the pool, in the shadow of the cypress, and origami.
Oh wow.
Okay, different.
Yeah, different. Okay, so I have a bear named Wojtek, beautiful man, a crab in the pool, wonder to wonder, and yuck.
I thought we were going to be 5-5 again. I was really close. We are 4 for 5.
You don't have yuck?
I don't have yuck. I have in the shadow of the cypress, but yuck is probably going to end up being in my finals. Yeah,
But it's titled yuck.
I know.
How can it not get nominated?
We could just put elephants in there, and then we'll have 3 animal titles.
Yeah, I think I have quite a bit. So I have maybe elephants. Have the bear name, is it Wojciech? In the shadows of the cypress, and then a crab in the pool. I was like, a crab in the pool. Gotta go with that. And then I was like, oh, crab. No, it's not as fun.
Crab in the pool would win. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, Rob.
Yeah, I have no rhyme or reason for why mine. I figured there's a lot of gay people voting, so Beautiful Men is in. In the shadow of the cypress sounds like the flower that drank the moon.
The same ones are also voting for a bear named Wojciech, so you know.
Oh,
There's
Correct.
crossover appeal there.
And origami feels like it probably has like neat animation. I had not seen it. I don't know what it looks like, but I don't know.
I feel bad for not having seen these this year. I'm generally good, but not this year.
Well, Stephen King thinks all the animated shorts should be deleted and never seen. So
Why?
no, I'm kidding.
Again, good luck to all of you. And
luck to-
yeah.
Great titles, beautiful titles.
Yes.
All right, so we'll go on to the below the line categories, and we'll start with the most straight male, and then move our way to the gayest ones. How about that?
Yeah.
So we'll start with visual effects. Visual effects. Who wants to go first?
Sure, I'll go. I really struggled with all these below the line. So I have Dune 2, Gladiator 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Wicked, and Better Man. Decided it was going to be a monkey fest. So,
We're 5 for 5.
sweet.
Ooh.
So those are mine.
I have Alien Romulus, A Complete Unknown. No, wait.
What?
No, I was reading sound. But I do have Alien Romulus. I have Alien Romulus, Better Men, Dune Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Twisters.
People don't know it took hundreds of hours to generate the scarf that Timothy Chalamet wears.
Right.
It looks so real.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm looking at who got BAFTA, who got Critics' Choice, who has BES, and who has the live action nomination from the Annie Awards. And just based on like precursors, Better Man and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes have everything. Makes a lot of sense. Dune Part 2 has everything but the Annie. Gladiator 2 has everything but BES, which is a pretty big loss for it, and Wicked only has BAFTA and Critics' Choice. And then you've got these anomalies like Twisters and Mufasa the Lion King, who only have VES, but those are major gets over Wicked and Gladiator. And the 2019 Lion King got in here, and the visual effects in this are more and better. So it makes for a really difficult category. So I'm not even really sure where I'm going to land yet outside of Better Man, Planet of the Apes, Dune. I think Wicked will probably get in here. It totally does not deserve to. But I think I might not go for Gladiator and then go for Mufasa Lion King.
Didn't Twister win visual effects, the original?
I think it was nominated, but I don't think it won.
Okay.
But I could be wrong.
Yeah, because that was the Independence Day year.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, I think I have the same as Erik, except I have Twisters instead of Mufasa.
I mean, there's an argument for Twisters and also Mufasa, just because Lion King and Jungle Book, which had similar effects, it's just kind of similar like the trajectory with the Planet of the Apes. They just nominate. So yeah, I mean, I think there's no wrong answer.
There is none, but 4 of the 5 nominees could all feature monkeys.
Right.
Feels correct.
Monkeys are kind of the fat suit of the visual effects category.
Yeah. All right. Let me actually, I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna look at, I do have my finals up and I should probably keep them as they are. So what do I have now? See, I have Doom, Gladiator, Apes, Better Man, Wicked. I don't think that's right. I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like Wicked is like the lazy vote of like people that don't really want to look into the category and are gonna be like, sure, I'm gonna vote for it, like in a bunch of other categories. But yeah, they do look like shit. Like the visual effects in Wicked are bad.
And that hasn't stopped, things getting in before.
Fair. Absolutely fair.
It is kind of crazy that something like Deadpool and Wolverine is probably not getting in, but they nominate MCU all the time. But it has nothing. It has nothing going in at all. All it is on the short list.
Yeah.
With Alien, Romulus, and Civil War, who have nothing.
I am predicting Alien Romulus, but it's more of a gut feeling.
Yeah, I would say my last Gladiator too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to sound. That's slightly gayer, but still pretty masculine. Sound. Who wants to go first?
I'll go because I already spoiled my first two. Alien Romulus, A Complete Unknown, Dune Part 2, Gladiator 2, and Wicked.
I have Dune Part 2, Complete Unknown, Wicked, Emilia Perez, and Gladiator 2.
Okay, I match Erik 5-5.
I match Erik 5-5.
I have something. What do I have different? Oh, I think I have a combination of the two of you because I have Alien Romulus, Complete Unknown, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, and Wicked. I don't have Gladiator.
Okay. Yeah, but Gladiator could easily be the one that gets ditched. But, and again, I have Gladiator in 5th. It has BAFTA and CAS. And then I have Deadpool and Wolverine in 6th. That could easily be in here.
Yeah.
If we were in a 2 sound category, it would get sound editing.
Yeah. I have Twisters in 6 just because it's loud and I believe it got nominated for sound.
It's not eligible.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Okay. Well, shit. What was I reading then? Oh, okay. Maybe. All right. Then my 7th is now my 6th, Alien.
Am I wrong that Emilia Perez kind of underperformed in terms of sound, especially for a musical?
Well, it didn't. It got what does it have? All it has is motion picture sound editors, so it did not get in CAS.
Yeah, which struck me as correct, but odd.
Yeah, or BAFTA for that matter.
Most of the
Yeah.
songs are like ASMR, so I feel like it's in.
It feels very La La Land kind of thing.
I have the Wild Robot in 6 because,
Mm.
again, if this was 2 categories, like there's so many animated movies that got it, and mostly Pixar, but they get into sound editing. So I don't have it in, but like it could.
I know I miss the days actually when we had animated films in here almost every year.
Those
Nope.
days are gone.
All gone. No more.
I do
Bye-bye.
love though that of the 10 eligible films, every one of them has at least one precursor, except for Joker. Has nothing.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what you get
It
in?
deserves nothing.
Forget your troubles. Come on, get snubbed.
Oh,
Still haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
it's horrible.
I'm waiting for like another Fire Day or something to where I have nothing else to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the third straightest tech category, cinematography.
Oh,
Uh,
All right.
I don't know. I think it's pretty gay, but
Well, I mean, we're getting gayer now, but like
okay.
yeah.
we're moving toward gay.
I'll go. I can go.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about these, but I'm going for it. I have The Brutalist, Nickel Boys, Dune Part 2, Conclave, and Nosferatu.
Hmm.
I know. I went black and white, and because Eggers... Did The Lighthouse get nominated for cinematography? Yes.
Yeah,
I
but
think it did.
It got into ASC.
Again, I have no rhyme or reason. I mean, I had... My question marks were Maria, The Girl with the Needle, and A Complete Unknown. But I decided I'm going to go with these. Brutalist, Nickel Boys, Dune, Nosferatu, and Conclave. Again, no rhyme or reason.
I think I have 4 out of 5, and then my 5th one is kind of, out there. I have The Brutalist, Conclave, Doom Part 2, Nosferatu, and then for the 5th spot, because I couldn't decide, I just decided to put in The Substance,
Ooh.
I would love that actually.
which I think is gonna do fairly well. And in terms of like below the line, I think cinematography is probably the component that stood out the most to me. So I was like, why not?
Sure. I like it.
I have 4 of the 5. I have Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, and then because this is just going to piss me off, and I know I always will have something that pisses me off, I have Wicked.
Yeah, I refused.
Which was, I
God,
think,
no.
the worst part of it was the cinematography, but people will think it's big, it's sweeping. So
God damn it, John.
kind of the way
Wow.
Bohemian Rhapsody and editing, like, yeah.
You got in for
Sorry.
ASC, so
I'm predicting my own frustration.
Okay. You're preparing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the adult way to do
Right.
this.
Yeah.
And it got in at BAFTA, didn't it, for cinematography?
No.
No?
ASC.
ASC,
ASC.
right?
You got it.
Yeah,
See,
but
yeah.
7 things got into ASC.
I was going to say
Absolutely ridiculous. And it is for them, it's a percentage base, so it's not like ties exactly. And they can have multiple nominations out of 5. I think they did have it back in, oh my God, I know I have it somewhere. Either 2014, 2017. They had 7 nominations. So it's not really helping us exactly because it's obviously all of the front runners that are already contenders here. But 4 films have ASC, BAFTA, Critics' Choice, and British Society of Cinematographers. And it's Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2, and Nosferatu. I have 3 of those getting in. I'm predicting Dune Part 2 to get snubbed in the way that we have seen very specifically sequels to winning films get snubbed. It happens. it's just as likely that it's going to get in, but it's a weird thing that happens that movies in trilogies or something like that get booted. It's very strange to me that happens, but it happens.
I could see it actually. Yeah.
So going with those three of Brutalist, Conclave, Nosferatu, my final two are Complete Unknown and Maria.
Oh.
I have the same 5 as Erik. I saw your article and I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Nickel Boy's not being here is going to really turn my stomach.
Yeah.
That was more of a hope dictating on my part. I'm doubting that it's going to get in. And I did kind of I thought of Maria because is it Edward Lockman is the
Hoffman.
Right. But I'm going to stick with these. And I do hear you about the Dune Part 2. I have it in here, but I'm doing it more as a name check as opposed to, didn't we just award this and see the same thing, 2 years ago? So.
Yeah, I mean, I have Maria in 5th and Dune in 6th. So it's kind of splitting hairs,
right?
Really, for me. But there is just also the weird thing of Netflix getting in here as like single nominations. Bardo and El Conde just last year. I'm like, something's weird here.
If you had told me like 2 months ago that like we were going to predict one nomination for Maria and it's like cinematography, like what?
I can't even think about it.
Well, I would not be mad at the cinema if it got in for cinematography. It's really, that's the best part of it, I think.
It's extraordinary. That first opening into the room, I'm just like, just give it to him. Just give him everything.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's really beautifully shot.
It's Lockman, so obviously.
Right. I haven't seen it, so one day.
It's a great lesson in how not to lip sync. It's
she's not lip syncing.
I liked it a lot more, I think, than a lot of people.
I love it.
Let's go to production design. We're getting gayer now.
All right.
I'll go first. I have Wicked, The Brutalist. This isn't an alphabetical order, sorry. Nosferatu, The Substance, and Dune 2.
Mm-hmm. I have 4 out of 5 instead of The Substance. I have Conclave, but I would love to be wrong and for you to be right.
I have the same as Chesco.
I have the 5 that got into everything: Art Directors Guild, BAFTA Critics' Choice, and Set Decorators. Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have those too.
Yeah. Gladiator just outside at number 6.
Yeah, I have that at 6. Yep. Yep. That was easy.
So we have the same 5 except for John, you have the Substance.
That's more of a hope dictating for me, but I think it is a standout element of the film.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool.
Years from now, we're going to remember like the carpet and the hallway and the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
I think more than other parts of other films. But
I think her building is totally Brutalist architecture.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think Brutalist is probably, and we're not getting into winners, but I feel like Brutalist is probably going to win.
If we talk winners, I probably think it's going to be like Wicked getting this in costumes together.
Yeah.
Brutalist.
They built the whole sets. Yeah, Wicked will win.
I think there's a longer conversation to be had about the Brutalist. I think later on, in terms of like, I'm just reading everywhere that people are not finishing it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know anymore.
Well, that's gonna be.
It would be too bad because the coda is so fucking brilliant, and why he makes that building the way that he makes it, it's extraordinary. I think the thing that we'll see how it unfolds is what happened this weekend, and that's the AI element on, and if that is factual, how much of it is, and
there's
if that has impact.
I haven't heard of this.
So what I read though, so what I read, I think it's slightly less problematic than
I do too
that we've seen. Mostly, I read that they used a speech correcting software that's like powered by AI to essentially make sure that the Hungarian pronunciation for Felicity Jones and Adrian Brody would sound correct. So essentially, they had someone come in who was a native speaker, record some words, vowel sounds, some of the lines, and then they converted those to the kind of vocal track of the cast. The other component, I think, was towards the end for like to create the ending shot, I think. But and it's less clear to me how that was, I guess, implemented. I do feel like some people are gonna just read that AI is involved and kind of just be like, no, thank you. So
Yeah. But I mean, in specific to this category, there was also the report that Judy Becker used AI enhancement to create the original brutalist architecture that's in the movie. We don't know at all how much any of it. Yeah, it's very. It just kind of came out, so I'm not hitting some type of siren that is like worth more than what it is right now.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it. It just feels like for some of these instances, they kind of used it judiciously without necessarily taking jobs away from people. It's just a matter of let's make the language sound more,
Yeah, I mean, we can get
Yeah.
into that with the acting, but yeah, I mean, it's complicated, but obviously anything that's AI related is going to.
There's a flag next to it. Yeah,
that's like a giant red flag.
What I'm hearing you say is that it's Felicity Jones's fault.
Correct. So that's
would have pronounced her words correctly.
Yes,
we wouldn't have this problem.
Yes,
that's what I'm hearing.
Thanks, Felicity.
Thanks, Felicity. We'll talk about this more when we get to like picture and director and stuff. But I do think the running time of Brutalist is a big factor. But we'll talk about that more.
Yeah.
Let's go to the second gayest tech category, makeup.
I'll go. I have A Different Man, Dune Part 2, The Substance, Wicked, and then I just threw in Beetlejuice just cause. Sounds like a fun option.
All right. I think I'm going to stick with the 5 that I have, but we'll see. The Substance, Wicked, Nosferatu, A Different Man, Dune Part 2. But Amelia Perez on the outside, which would be crazy.
I have 4 of those. I have Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked. And there's a reason why they shortlisted Waltzing with Brando, so I'm predicting it.
So that is, I think, what I have just outside because I've read about it and I did look it up and it is impressively kind of they pulled it off like really well. So I feel like that could definitely. It just doesn't feel like the movie is really out there. That was like the one thing.
I mean, how many times does that happen in this category?
Yeah.
There's it's going to be missing the opportunity and the visual effects too of the proper bake-offs. In persons that they've done, which can, and sound as well, can really move something to intention.
Yeah.
And I do think that movie is an example of that. I think it might have been able to be maybe a little more impressive with an in-person presentation versus a virtual one. But yeah, it's something.
Yeah, but I'm glad we brought it up because I do feel like there's actually a very realistic chance that it gets in.
Mm-hmm.
John, what did you have?
I have The Substance, Nosferatu, Wicked, A Different Man, and Beetlejuice. Because the original Beetlejuice won, right?
Yes.
Yep. And I also feel like I wanted to put Beetlejuice in for production design, but there's just too much competition. But I think it could get in here because it is kind of a showcase for really cool makeup. But we shall see.
Yeah, I think most of it is practical effects, which I think is really, really impressive.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like between makeup
Yeah.
and production design, I feel like someone might want to. Well, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Mhm.
Do we all go for makeup?
Mhm.
Let's do the gayest tech costumes
Yes.
next, and then my Beetlejuice comment will make sense once we finish this.
So I have Beetlejuice,
Me too.
Conclave, Doom Part 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked.
I have 4 of those. I have Beetlejuice, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Nosferatu, and Wicked.
I have Beetlejuice, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Maria, and Wicked.
I do not have Beetlejuice in here. In fact, it's in my last spot in 10th. I have Wicked, Conclave, Nosferatu, Gladiator 2, and A Complete Unknown.
The reason I have Beetlejuice is that it's the Colleen Atwood of it all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She hasn't been nominated in a while. It's
No. She got her little CDG nomination, but I don't know.
That's the only reason why I put
It's
it in.
been a minute.
Yeah.
She was the biggest name of the major contenders. So that's why that tipped over too.
And the dual Jacquelines, too. Jacqueline Duran and Jacqueline West, also extremely popular here. I have Blitz at number 6.
I've seen people predicting Blitz. Yeah, so it could happen. It just I don't feel like it really exists. So it's
that movie is going to be this had Oscar buzz like top tier.
Yeah.
What an absolute flop.
Yeah.
I think it's getting in somewhere, and I'll wait till we get to that category.
Oh, sneaky. I think I know what you're doing.
I know what you're doing.
Oh my God.
We all know what you're doing.
Robert, costumes? I can't remember.
That's crazy.
I think so.
So none of us have the Brutalist, right?
No.
We lost Rob.
Isn't that weird? I mean, it's kind of neat that we all don't, and we've sort of collectively been like, yes, this is a major film, but it literally has nothing. It has no.
It got nothing.
Love
Yeah.
for the costumes. None.
Nothing. Yeah. So
because they're so understated. They're beautiful, but they're completely understated.
It just kind of like hinges on like if it ends up doing really well, then probably it gets in here too, and it doesn't matter.
Maybe.
But I just feel like with what I've been reading, I have like real pressing concerns about just the movie in general. So if I need to start looking at where it's the most vulnerable, then it would be stuff where it already kind of like was flying under the radar anyway. And
I have that for this later.
Yeah. So yeah.
Sorry about that. I was downstairs and it looked like for some reason I froze up, so I came upstairs. Sorry, what'd I miss?
Costumes
and production design.
Production design, I have The Brutalist, Conclave, Wicked, A Complete Unknown, and Gladiator 2. Costume design, I have Maria, Nosferatu, Wicked, The Brutalist, and Beetlejuice.
So everybody has Beetlejuice but me. All right.
Yes.
That's cool.
For costume?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's cool.
Erik, what did you have?
Wicked, Conclave, Nosferatu, Gladiator 2, and A Complete Unknown.
Okay.
Not only is he not predicting it, he's got it in last place.
Yeah, I have Beetlejuice in 10th.
That should be noted.
I had to say it because it's like if it gets in, that's me in my flop era.
Is that? It makes sense.
I don't know. I'm pretty confident.
Oh, I wanted to note too, and I think I put it in my piece with the makeup and with regards to Dune Part 2, there is a lot of behind the scenes drama with that, in that Donald Mowat, who did the first film and did Dune Part 2, is not in contention for makeup or any makeup that he did on the film, period.
What happened?
There's just some drama and some bad blood.
Uh-oh.
So the only makeup that can be considered, and it's actually the most makeup, is Baron Harkonnen and Austin Butler's bald cap. That's
So he was not submitted.
correct. No FYC. None of the makeup can be considered outside of those two things.
Oh, will people know that though?
Yeah, because the Bake Off reel will only feature those.
Show that.
Anyway,
Interesting.
drama.
Big
Is
time.
it something like I can read about like later? Is like no, okay,
No,
kind of behind the scenes.
yeah, it's
Okay.
a little BTS.
Okay. Duly noted.
Just some tea.
Yeah.
A little bit.
All right.
All right. Let's move on to let's go to the large versions of the short categories and do animated feature. So I'll go first. I didn't put any of these in alphabetical order, so I apologize. I have Flow, Wild Robot, Inside Out 2, Moana 2, and Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul.
I'm 4 out of 5. I refuse to predict Moana. I can't bring myself to do it. So I have Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, and The Wild Robot.
Yep, those are my 5.
Oh, I thought this was going to be the easiest 5 of the whole thing.
Yeah, I have the same 5. I have Moana 2 missing out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Its $1 billion is almost the thing that works against it.
It's like Frozen 2.
Exactly.
And Finding Dory.
So, John, plead your case.
Oh, just because Moana was nominated.
Yeah.
It made money. And big companies went out. We're in late stage capitalism. So
Fair. Point well made.
plus I think 3 indie animated films is a lot for the category. Because we have Flow, Wallace and Gromit are pretty indie.
And honestly, I would have predicted it too, but the reviews were so overwhelmingly negative
Yeah.
that, yeah, there comes a point where you're like, I can't really justify putting it in.
I wouldn't call Wallace and Gromit's indie though. It's Netflix in-house now with Aardman.
Fair.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What if Moana 2 gets in and Inside Out 2 is the one that gets left out?
The other $1 billion movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I feel like there's
Better
like
reviews though.
it does
Yeah.
have better reviews, but I just feel like no one's talking about Inside Out 2.
And it also hit everywhere. Moana 2 only has the globe. That's it.
Yeah.
Like it's yeah. The only thing that Snail missed was BAFTA, but that's only because they have 4 spots. It would have been the 5th spot.
Well, that tells you that it's the
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
definitely 5th.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah.
Boring ass category.
And I've seen one of these
Move on
movies.
to another one that feels kind of low key this year. Documentary.
This is so hard.
Oh, I just guessed on all
This
these.
is almost like a great title, beautiful title situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did I have?
This is so hard.
I feel pretty safe with mine. I can go first on this
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
I've got Daughters, No Other Land, Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, Sugarcane, and Will and Harper.
I got 4 out of 5.
I have
I have-
4 or 5 of those.
I have 3.
Dude.
Wait a minute.
I have Daughters, No Other Land, Porcelain War, Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, and Will and Harper.
I have 4 or 5 of those.
I have 4 or 5 of those.
All right.
I have
I
4
Daughters,
4 or 5.
Hollywood.
I have
Porcelain
have
War, and Will and Harper.
I have Dahomey.
I had it like at number 2 and dropped it all the way down to 9. It feels like it doesn't. It's breaking my heart because it's one of my favorite films of the year.
Yeah, so I'm.
It's only 67 minutes. It's an easy watch in length terms.
I have that in 6.
I have it. Yeah, I have in 6 Black Box Diaries.
So do I.
That's my 6.
That's my 6th.
But
Yeah.
I have.
wrong.
I have No
nomination-
Other Land, Daughters, Porcelain War, Soundtrack, and Sugarcane.
Yep. Okay, so I have Dahomey instead of Sugarcane. Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the nominations for this category have kind of been all over the place.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think it's very competitive this year. I think anything that we've mentioned already, plus The Remarkable Life of Evelyn, Union, is possible. It's a tough category. But I mean, No Other Land is
Gonna win. Yeah.
it's
No other, but did No Other
overwhelming.
Land get BAFTA and Critics' Choice?
No, it did not get Critics' Choice.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say like
They got
all-
everything else.
like,
It has
everyone has, like,
BAFTA.
one.
It won the Berlin Documentary Award. It won Cinema Eye. It won European Film. It won Gotham, and it won Independent Documentary Association. It
Yeah,
is
I mean, I feel like it's definitely
steamrolled.
the front runner, but I feel like every documentary has like one. Like, there's no overlap in nominations in places.
Yeah, and the only film that has both DGA and PGA in the documentary categories is Porcelain War.
Yeah,
Which is why
So I
I put it in.
defaulted to a lot of the DGA nominees: Sugarcane, Soundtrack, Porcelain, Daughters.
Same.
To round everything out to really.
Daughters got BAFTA.
Daughters is, it's so funny because the focus and the attention by Netflix has been 100% on Will and Harper and Ibelin, but it's Daughters, which they gave a garbage August release, that has shown up everywhere. That's the one that's getting in. I mean, I still think Will and Harper can for sure, but Daughters is like, this kind of happens to Netflix all the time. The one that they're not paying attention to is the one that voters are paying attention
Yeah.
to.
But it tells you so much about
Yeah.
what's going on there.
I normally
It does.
I normally would have picked something like Will and Harper, but I think it's the most high profile this year
Yeah.
by far.
And those never get in.
But I think in this year with everything being so diffuse, that's why I put it in.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Let's move on to a big one, international film.
Oh boy.
Yeah. This was a lot harder than I
Yeah.
thought. I think this category, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty confident. This year, I am not.
I'm confident in
And
3.
I'm confident in 3 also.
I'm confident in 2.
Oh, wow.
I think we all have Emilia Perez, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we all have I'm Still Here.
Yes.
Okay, so this is where the problems begin for me because I am fairly confident that Flo is going to make it in. I'm predicting for the dual nomination, and I just kind of want it to happen. So, okay. And then I just decided to go with Vermilio, which is, I think, on the cusp, but could happen. And then because there always seems to be like a surprising one that people were not predicting, but had really good reviews and all that, I decided to go with the Thai movie How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies.
I knew that was coming.
Yes. It's been, but if you read about it, it's been so incredibly successful.
Yeah, it has.
And it made a ton of money, and it's got the reviews like really backing it up. So I could see it. Yeah.
I kind of want it to be the Lunana Yak in the Classroom.
Yeah.
I think I have it probably lower than I should. I have it in 9th. Because I've got Emilia Perez, I'm Still Here, Seed of the Sacred Fig, The Girl with the Needle, and Kneecap.
Yeah, because that makes sense too.
But then right after that, yeah, there's Italy, Senegal, and Latvia and
Right.
Thailand right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have I'm Still Here, Amelia Perez, Seat of the Sacred Fig, Flo, and Kneecap. Kneecap's success at the BAFTAs was enough for me to put it in.
Yeah.
Flo
Yeah.
to me is the least sure, just because it's animated, but there is a lot of chatter about it. People
I
love it.
want it more than anything. It was like
And it's
my top
an
5 of the
incredible
year.
story. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of both. My hope diction is the tiebreaker to put it in.
I feel like if you're predicting it to do, really well in terms of animated or possibly even win, that it would make sense to also predict it to make the cut here. So, yeah.
I think what I have 4 out of 5 of both of yours. I have I'm Still Here, Amelia Perez, Seat of the Sacred Fig, Kneecap, and Vermilio. I have Flo in 6. I feel like I would predict it if there was dialogue. I feel like that might hinder it here.
Mhm. Yeah, I have everything, and I do have how to make millions before grandma dies, and then I
Coolest
have
prediction though. I love that.
I have Fig, Kneecap, Perez, and I'm Still Here.
Yeah.
I toyed with some of the other ones, like Girl with the Needle. I haven't seen it, but everybody says it's great. But man, it is a tough watch. And then
What do you do with that needle?
I just
I don't know.
Denmark's history here is just so
Yeah.
so
Compelling.
good.
Yeah.
Right. I know.
Mm,
It was hard. I kept moving that and Italy. I was like, boom, boom.
Yeah,
yeah.
Vermilio too. I had that. Oh, I'm sticking with my 5. There you go.
All right. Yeah. It turned out to be a pretty tough category.
Yeah.
It seemed a little quiet early on in the season, but now it feels really tough. Let's move on to the music categories. They're their own level of gay, so that's why I held them off. Let's do.
Terrific.
Do you want to do score or song first?
Let's do score.
Score. All right. Let's do score.
Oh my god.
I can go. I have The Brutalist, Challengers, Conclave, Amelia Perez, and The Wild Robot.
Boy.
I have 4 of the 5 of those.
Okay.
I think I match you 5 to 5. Conclave, Amelia Perez, Brutalist, Wild Robot, and Challengers.
It felt pretty straightforward to me, but Challengers, I'm not 100%.
It's in my 5th spot because sometimes you just don't trust the group, and I guess it depends on how you feel about the movie in other places.
Correct.
And what Reznor and Ross's history is when they get in with a movie in other categories.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I'm not predicting it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
Because I have 4 of the 5. I have Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Wild Robot, and I have Blitz.
This is I knew it because I have it in 6. I was like, oh, this is where he's putting in Blitz.
Yeah,
And I know you're doing it for the reason that I know you're doing it.
Who's the composer?
Hans Zimmer.
And
Because
he can't get in Purdue.
Oh, okay.
I have it in 6 for just that reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm setting myself up for a blank for Challengers. So
Okay.
for other categories we're talking about. So.
Yeah.
Could happen. Could easily happen. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have Challengers, Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, and Nosferatu.
I have that 6th.
Challengers, Glowwin, and the team of Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross put it over for me. It is such a distinctive score. It is a score that I think is almost like a character in the film, which instead of just being background, it's very front and center. So that's why I think I put it in. Nosferatu is my weakest one. I go back and forth between that and Wild Robot, but and then
I think
there's that. I didn't consider the Hans Zimmer angle. That's very fascinating.
It is actually.
It's a good one, and you know how into these groups can be, especially the music branch,
Especially composers.
as we'll talk about in the next category. It could happen. If Thomas Newman had done Blitz, I'd be like,
Yeah.
here we go.
And you having Nosferatu, like, I feel like it's gonna get more nominations than like 4 or 5 of the Best Picture nominees.
Yeah.
Like, I have it down for 4 nominations, so like
Excellent.
that's already more than like 3 of the ones I have predicted for Best Picture. So
Okay.
Let's move on to song.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh my God. There's actually a lot of possibility here. A lot.
Yeah, it feels pretty open, but none of the options seem particularly great.
Yeah, they're all not great.
I feel like there's 2 locks.
See,
Yes, I agree.
I don't know what those are.
I feel really confident about this category just because, like,
All right.
like I said, I'm not predicting challengers. So I've got the 2 Emilia Perez songs.
Yeah.
I've got Kiss the Sky from Wild Robot. I thought those
Yes.
2 I feel like are locked in.
Yes.
Diane Warren
Yes.
has the song from the 6 AAA. I like it. It hasn't happened yet where she doesn't get in. So like I feel like that's going to get in. And then for the 5th slot, like it just seems obvious that there's always a like music legend here. So I've got the Elton John song, Never Too Late.
Yeah.
I have 4 of the 5. I'm gonna say that Emil Perez does not get both songs. So I'm booting Mi Camino. I mean this, and putting Compressed Regress in place of that, and I have the same thing: Kiss the Sky, The Journey, and Never Too Late. But I know that's probably wrong, but I don't know. There's just something. It's not going to get both.
These are not in alphabetical order. I don't know why. I have the 2 from Emilia Perez. Then I have Kiss the Sky, which I think might actually win. And I don't mind it. I think it's a pretty decent song. Then obviously I have Icon, Diane Warren. I don't even know what the song is called, like Rise and Shine. What's it called? Live, Laugh, Love. What's it
The
called?
Journey.
The Journey.
The
Yes.
Journey.
And then for the 5th one, I have the song from Will and Harper. Will and Harper will go
That's
west.
my number 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Wild Robot and El Mal are my 2 locks. Then I have The Journey. I have Compress, Repress, Impress, Depress from Challengers, which is not a great song, but and Will and Harper Go West for my last one. I'm also predicting one from Emilia Perez.
I'm definitely predicting both Emilia Perez songs.
Yeah, me too.
I think that feels really easy to me. Kiss the Sky and Diane Warren. But this will be one of those real tests. I think kind of. She has sort of what she needs, but
I kind of feel like this
Globe
might be the year
Their competition is weak.
that it happens. Yeah.
Oh, to win?
Yeah.
Nah, I think El Mal is going to win pretty easily here.
Mm.
But I do have Compress Repress. Although the argument for Elton John and especially a documentary getting in here and a music legend makes perfect sense.
My only thing with Elton John is that he just won, and I feel like no one's talking about his movie.
Yeah, it was kind of
that's
a flop.
my odds too. Yeah, that he just won. I mean, but he was at the Golden Globes. He was showboating like he does, and so it's just like I think he's up there. So
Yep.
Yeah, but like he couldn't even get a Globe nomination. I don't know.
Well, Globes don't nominate documentaries for songs.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Not even for that. He opened up a lot of things, but not that.
It seems so strange.
I'd love it if it was the song from Kneecap, Sick in the Head.
Oh,
They just went like totally crazy and awesome with it. I would love that.
That'd be great. Maybe beep, bleeping it up.
That would be very, very funny to have to perform too.
Oh, I know. It'd be amazing.
Well, that song Good luck, Diane Warren.
Yes, good luck.
And, as we know, her house burned down during voting.
But her Oscar is safe.
But her Oscar is safe because it was in her other house.
Oh.
I think things could align for her. I don't know. I feel like keep an eye on her this year.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of the good years of like she actually reasonably has a shot.
Because her movie is actually almost real this year.
I mean, the movie that like does exist. It's like,
does exist.
He wrote a song for a Netflix movie. Yeah, it's like, okay.
Scientists have confirmed the movie does exist.
Imagine if she wrote a song for The Fire Inside.
Every time I see The Fire Inside, I think it's a Diane Warren song.
She'd get in.
I think it's the song from last year.
She would get in.
Song.
Flamin' Hot.
Oh my God. The narrative.
So funny.
All right. Let's go on to screenplays. Let's start with adapted.
Ooh, we skipped film editing.
Wait, what did I skip?
Film editing.
Oh, editing. Yes, editing. Sorry.
Did I missed hairstyling, makeup and hairstyling too, didn't I?
Yeah, we did makeup and hairstyling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Editing. I'm sorry. I forgot that one.
Did anybody pick Waltzing with Brando? Just
I did.
For makeup?
I did.
Alfie did. Yeah.
I did too. All right. Carry on.
It's a good prediction. Yeah. So for editing, I can go. I have Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, and Dune Part 2. But I'm not very confident about Dune.
I have Conclave, Anora, Amelia Perez, Dune Part 2, and Challengers.
I have all. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say I have four of five because I don't have Challengers, but I do have The Brutalist. But I understand why Erik doesn't have The Brutalist.
Yeah.
It's my number 6, but my God, this movie has been blanked in editing.
Yeah.
BAFTA and Ace, that's tough. If it gets in, it's an absolute like down ballot voting.
Yeah.
Like costumes too.
Yeah.
Which is totally possible.
That's more along the lines of why I put it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm more concerned about what you also brought up, that Honora Sean Baker, and like a lot of directors don't get in here. So
there are real cases of, I mean, Alfonso Cuarón got in once and then not another time.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
I'm predicting Anora, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, and I'm gonna predict Challengers as well. I think there'll be a editing nominee that's not a Best Picture nominee.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the majority of the Best Picture nominees don't strike me as editing showcases necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
I do think Anora's safe here just because there's really no other text for them to be in. And to be a front runner, they're going to need something. And then Dune Part 2, just because the scope. Amelia Perez has the most editing, and Conclave because it's a front runner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah. No one has September 5th?
I have it in 7th behind Brutalist.
That was great editing.
It is. I think it's a movie, especially after that PGA nomination, that's going to get in somewhere. It just depends on where you think it's going to get in.
Okay.
I have it here.
Yeah, I feel like that movie is like 6th or 7th or 8th in a lot of categories.
If I look at mine, that's exactly where it is. It's like in 6th or 7th place in like 5 or 6 of these. So yeah.
That's why I have it 7th.
All right.
Okay. Thank you for catching that, Alfie, that I forgot editing. Let's go to screenplays now. Let's start with adapted. I'll go.
Okay.
I have A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune 2, Amelia Perez, and Nickel Boys.
I went off on a bit of a tangent. But there's a reason why, and it'll become clearer later. I have Conclave, Amelia Perez, Nickel Boys, Sing Sing, and I'm Still Here.
Ooh.
Oh,
I see where you're going with that.
Yes.
I see where you're going as well.
Yes.
Yeah. I have 4 of the 5. I have Conclave, Amelia Perez, Nickel Boys, Sing Sing, and then I have a complete unknown.
I have the same 5.
I have the same 5 as you guys. Yeah.
Which is the adult thing to predict. I totally get it, but I just have a gut feeling about things. So yeah.
Trust your gut.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do we have for original?
Okay, for original, I have Honora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, The Substance, and Hard Truths.
Oh, I have the same 5.
Okay. Yay.
I have 4. I have 4 of the 5. I have Hard Truths. I have All We Imagine Is Light.
I did until this week.
All right.
Yeah.
And
I have the 4 of A Real Pain, Nora, Brutalist, and The Substance, and this is where I have September 5.
ah,
So I have Hard Truths at 6, Challengers at 7. Yeah.
I have 4 of those 5. I have a Nora, Brutalist. I have Challengers in A Real Pain and The Substance.
okay.
I just kind of feel like when there's a Mike Lee movie that gets actually some exposure, that he just kind of makes it in. That's
He
just
has-
kind of what happens.
He has 5 screenplay nominations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what you said. Like when it's
Yeah.
a big enough buzzy film. Like
Yeah.
Happy Go Lucky, he got in for another year. He got in for. So like even if the acting didn't happen, like he got
Yeah.
in,
Yeah.
which is what I think is gonna happen.
Yeah.
I could see that.
It's been 14 years since his last nomination.
I just think I toyed with that as well, and that definitely could happen. I just feel like Hard Truths outside of Marianne Jean Baptiste has not been on anyone's radar for anything.
Well,
Missing the BAFTA
yeah,
long list was insane.
yeah. That was my big like it didn't even get shortlisted. Like so.
It's bizarre. It's too much for me.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
But
Yeah.
you never know. You're
I
right.
think part of that is also because it's Bleecker Street. Like they're just not good at this.
No.
That
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
All right, we're on to acting.
Yeah.
I'm so scared right now.
We're gonna start gently with supporting actor.
There's no gently. They're all hard.
Right. I'll go. I think this was fairly easy.
Can we do these in order of like how likely they are? From
Yeah,
like, most likely
everything
to-
in mine is ranked.
Okay,
Yeah.
because
Now
that's how I did it.
I can
Okay.
do that. Yeah.
Okay. Let me look at. Oh, interesting. I actually have it ranked unintentionally. I have Kieran Culkin, Yura Borisov, Edward Norton, Guy Pearce, Jeremy Strong.
I have the
I
same
have-
5, but not quite in the same order.
Okay.
I have Culkin, Borisov, Pierce, Norton, Strong.
I
I
have
have the
those
same
5.
5.
I
Culkin, Borisov, Norton, Pierce, Strong in that order.
I have 4 of the 5.
Wow.
And I
Oh,
Yeah,
Ackland at
I have
6.
4 or 5. I've got Culkin, Borisov, Norton, Pierce, and I have Clarence Macklin in 5th because he got that BAFTA nod, which like he shouldn't have gotten. So like I feel like that's enough for me. I have Jeremy Strong in 6th. And then because I did top 10s for these, I have Denzel in 7th, which like if he didn't get a SAG nod, he's not getting in. But
me
he's still
too. Same. Yep.
I've got Stanley Tucci in 8th because like Conclave, I feel like is going to surprise somewhere, and it could be here. Adam Pearson for A Different Man in 9th, and for 10th, I don't think this is happening at all. But like, if they really, really love Honora, Mark Edelstein in 10th. So
that'd be fun.
So I have Alfie's 5, but I think I have Pierce in 3rd place instead of
I have him in 4th.
Norton.
I have
Yeah.
my 4th also.
because he missed SAG.
He sure did.
Yeah.
Miss SAG.
He sure did. Yes.
And Norton's in a more popular film right now.
Norton didn't miss anything, did he?
Nope.
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 Which like he gets in every like 10 years, so like this tracks.
Yep.
It tracks. I feel like he also has a bit of reputation, so I don't know.
Well, he also now, because of the fall of Denzel Washington, becomes the returning nominee.
Mm-hmm.
Well, depends on.
I mean, if you think Tucci's getting in, sure.
I mean, this category.
In this
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
no, this category.
This category.
Yeah.
Yeah, because actually all of the acting categories are just, there's going to be so many first timers
Bunch of versions.
because the veterans winners have failed so spectacularly.
Yep.
Actually.
Correct.
But yeah, Denzel Washington's never gotten in without a SAG nomination first since the inception of SAG. So
I mean, we knew that he wasn't going to get into BAFTA, but like for SAG, SAG to be like, no thanks, it's yeah.
That was the end of that.
For him to miss at SAG for Jonathan Bailey, like
I have Bailey in 8th, just behind Denzel Washington, but still.
I don't even have him top 10.
I couldn't like realistically do that.
It's not like it couldn't happen. I don't think it's very likely.
10th.
I think Bailey and SAG was more just a show of like, oh, that's the movie that they saw the most.
Yeah.
Yep.
Most of the voters saw Wicked, so they threw him in there.
Yep.
Let's move on to supporting actress. This is where it gets a little scary.
Very scary.
I'll go. This one is actually fairly easy, I thought. Zoe Saldana, Ariana Grande, Isabella Rossellini, Margaret Qualley, and Monica Barbera. I am not falling for Jamie Lee Curtis. Sorry.
Look at her pants.
Not even with those pants.
I have Zoe Saldana. I have Ariana Grande. I have JLC in 3rd. And I have Isabella Rossellini. And then I'm also going to stick with Margaret Qualley. I think the Complete Unknown women will kind of take each other out. Mm-hmm. And I just can't bring myself to predict Felicity Jones.
No, I don't even have her on my list. I have Dead Weiler in 7th. JLC in 6th.
And then, I'm predicting Frances Fisher curse continues with Daniel Deadweiler.
Yeah.
Even though I think she's one of my favorite performances of the year.
Oh, God.
I have kind of Grande and Saldana kind of like tied in first place. I haven't decided yet. Then I have Rossellini. Then I have Jamie Lee Curtis because it is going to happen. It is going to happen. And then in 5th place, and I had the hardest time with this, I ended up going with the one in a high-profile movie that played a real-life person, so I put in Monica Barbaro.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got Zoe Saldana, Ariana Grande, Isabella Rossellini, Monica Barbaro, and then I have in 5th place Felicity Jones.
Oh, so you don't have Jamie Lee Curtis either?
I don't have Jamie Lee Curtis, and Felicity Jones. I feel like there's always one acting nominee that everyone just is like, it's the Kathleen Quinlan, like so. That's why I have her. I do have Jamie Lee Curtis in 6th. I have Selena Gomez in 7th. I really feel like it could have, like, especially after that BAFTA nod, like I could see her, especially if Amelia Perez like just over dominates. Like,
I'm trying not to think about it.
Deadweiler I have in 8th, probably in 9th. 10th, I have Anjanae Ellis Taylor in Nickel Boys should be winning this category. So like, fuck all these people. So sorry.
So I think we all have a different lineup of 5.
I think we do.
I won because I have Zoe Saldana, Ariana Grande Butera, Isabella Rossellini, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Felicity Jones.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
And I think Selena Gomez is right.
No.
This could very much be a Catherine Zeta-Jones Queen Latifah.
Yeah.
Where it's basically a co-lead who's going to win everything, and she kind of just brings along
it was good.
the next.
The issue with Felicity Jones for me is that she is mostly in the second half of the movie, as in the
It's a
one that
real
people are
issue for me too.
the one that people are not watching. Like because I
Right.
feel like a lot of them are just turning it off before she even appears. And I think in a way that also explains why she didn't do as well as people were thinking throughout award season, where I don't know. She was ostensibly, I think, one of the favorites before this all of this began, and then we were like, oh, she's kind of missing here and here and here. So I think it's the runtime of the film and the nature of the role is sort of like what actually is playing against her.
Yeah, and this is one of those examples that I was talking about at the beginning, where we're in these supporting categories, and where are we going to be matching up the supporting and the lead for the same movie? When is it going to happen? When is it sort of not? I feel like the Monica Barbaro SAG nomination is a bit of a ruse, and it's less the success of her than it speaks to the success of the film.
Mhm.
And I mean, that's why it got the cast nomination as well.
Mhm.
I mean, I it's absolutely possible. I have her in 7th. It's totally possible. And then it becomes, how many SAG nominees get in? And BAFTA really kind of is consistently fucking itself up by the changes. And now that they have 6 spots, you're just Critics' Choice now.
Yeah, I'm definitely against them having 6 spots.
Hate it.
Yeah, it's such a cop out. Yeah.
One thing I want to say about Jamie Lee Curtis
Mhm.
is the thing that's helping her, not just because she's Jamie Lee Curtis and she is like a campaign machine, is the fact that The Last Showgirl has recency bias, and it's hitting right at the height of voting. Like I thought it hadn't been seen enough, but now people are seeing it. And it's getting a lot of good notices in the press. The New York Times and the LA Times both had really great reviews for it. So the timing for her also really helps.
Yeah. And if you're not predicting Jones, Curtis is the returning familiar name and a brand new one. This is Afterglow territory.
Yeah. And I mean, she got really good reviews. I think that's also something that, does factor in this. That a lot of
she
people
doesn't deserve them, but she got
she got him though. I think it does factor a little. Like, there's a lot of people that genuinely love her performance in this.
It is the pinnacle of a showboating supporting performance, because
I cannot wait.
every second that she is on screen, she is sucking the energy, the oxygen, and life force of every person on set, all for herself. And it's gobsmacking to watch.
She
It's
looks
incredible.
like how I feel on the inside. Her character. So yeah.
Relatable.
I also wonder that like the flip side of the Brutalist, where it's so long, like I think it's like 90 minutes,
88 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, it's very short.
They'll definitely I can watch
Thankfully.
that.
Yeah. That's a good point. Like, people have limited time to watch movies. Like, what are they going to knock out?
And JLC's missing from like a big section, and then she comes back in like a sequence that should just lock her in, and that she thought of herself on set.
Her power.
For real though.
Her power.
She's like, I haven't done enough in this movie. Let me get this scene. And it's oh my God.
For the ones that are not predicting her, do you have her in like 6th place?
I have her in 6.
Okay.
Again, I'm not. She'll probably get in. I mean,
she's 4 for me.
I also am, because of the fact that like there's probably gonna be voters who are like, I need to prioritize Best Picture contenders. That's why I kind of am sticking with that in most of my acting predictions. That's partially why I kept her in 6 as well.
I may end up just putting Selena Gomez in because I haven't published this yet.
Somebody has to.
We're recording this on Sunday the 19th. My predictions are coming out Monday the 20th. because nothing else is happening that day.
Yeah.
So
Please,
nothing.
please sleep on it, please.
but I'll sleep on it. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. I'm
Think
thinking of putting
responsibly,
Selena
please.
in there.
Selena Gomez.
Nicki Minaj said, "Better keep an eye out for Selena." So
Keep an eye out for Selena is exactly right.
That's an eye too much.
Yeah. Let's move on to Best Actor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll go first.
People are trying to make this harder than it is.
Actually, no, I don't want to go first. Someone else go first.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Timothy Chalamet, Adrian Brody, Coleman Domingo, Ray Fiennes, Daniel Craig.
I have the same 5, but not in that order. I have
Really?
Yeah. I have Brody, Chalamet, Fine, Domingo, and Craig.
Yep.
the order
That's
on
my-
him.
I have
have
that
the same-
order too.
I have the same order.
Got it. Yeah, just flopping.
I didn't know what to do
Fine,
here for
yeah.
the fit spot, so I just ended up going with the SAG 5, which seems to be what happens when people are, kind of like floating between like 4th and 6th, and there's like
I know people lost their minds when Daniel Craig missed BAFTA in a field of 6, and that's fair. But he made SAG.
Yeah. I mean, so did Charlotte Rampling.
I think I toyed with Sebastian Stan, but I feel like his movies cancel each other out in some way.
That's a big issue for me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't even think he's 6. I think he's 7th and 8th. I think Hugh Grant's 6.
I have Hugh Grant 6, and then Stan.
Grant's been
I have-
so close a couple times.
I have
And
Stan 7 and 8.
Can I just ask a very fair question? If Stan does get in, what do you have it in for? For what movie does
The
he get in?
Apprentice.
The Apprentice.
Apprentice, definitely.
The Apprentice.
Okay.
A Different Man, I don't think is going to siphon anything really from him. It would only help him in The Apprentice
Okay.
because A24 is not getting 4 of the 5 slots here.
No.
Okay.
It's not happening. I mean, it could.
I mean,
I'm just saying, I don't think it is.
it can't because it's Brody and Chalamet who aren't A24. Or no, it's not. It's
Brody's A24.
it's Fines. Like, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
So it'll be 3. It'll be
get 3.
of Which 3?
which is still crazy.
Yeah.
I just want to say that I think it's more likely to happen for A Different Man than Apprentice, but
I definitely don't.
but that's one of our most aligned categories. That's interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump to director because that is lesser. So I'll go first for director. I have Audiard, Baker, Berger, Corbett, and Fargeat. I finally dropped Villeneuve, and if he gets in, I'm going to be pissed.
I have the same 5, I think. I'm not sure.
I didn't do it. Oh, sorry, I did that in alphabetical order. I didn't do it in.
Okay. I have.
reverse.
Yeah.
Corbett, Berger, Baker, Audiard, Fargeat.
I have Berger, Baker, Audiard, and who am I missing? Berger. Did I say 3 or 4?
Corbett.
Corbett first. Then I have Baker. Then I have Berger. Then I have Audiard, and then I have Fargeat.
I think we have the same.
Okay.
I might switch Baker and Berger. I can't.
Okay.
I've got
Pick a burger.
4 of the 5. I've got Corbet, Baker, Berger, Audiard, and I have James Mangold. I have the DJ 5.
I'm going probably with Alfie because I don't trust the branch enough to go with Fargeat. I just don't. So DGA 5 makes sense. There is no movie that has clearly shown strength at the right guild time the way that A Complete Unknown has. But it's crazy because we're set up for a lot of stat breaking and history making, kind of almost no matter what happens, unless Villeneuve gets in. If Villeneuve gets in, then kind of everything just stays normal. If it's any of the combinations that we just did, it's the first year of all first timers since 1997. But then there's this weird thing too, is looking at the director winners for New York, Los Angeles, and National Society of Film Critics went to, respectively, Romel Ross, Mohammad Rusalev, and Payal Kapadia. The last time that all of them were snubbed was 89.
Yeah.
But none of them are in the running the way that the ones that we're talking about are. I had Romel Ross for Nickel Boys in all the way up into like last week.
Yeah.
I have him in ninth now.
Bummer.
Oh,
So I also have Mangold getting the boot, and I hear what you're saying, Erik. I just have a hard. Is it really the Academy going to go for straight white sausage factor director nominees? I don't know. I think
Yes.
yes. Okay, so you think? I think they're going to. I'm good. I'm going to say they're not, and Fargeat is getting in over Mangold.
I'd love it. They're 5 and 6 for me,
Yeah.
quite easily.
Yeah.
But I would be shocked if she doesn't get in and they go for Mangold.
Yeah.
But
have her
I mean,
in 7. I have Villeneuve in 6.
I have Kapadia.
I just think if
I
Villeneuve
have her in 8.
didn't get in for the first one, he's not getting in for the second one.
Absolutely not. It
Yeah.
would be insane for him
Yeah.
to get in after missing that. This is Two Towers territory.
Yeah.
But at least Jackson got nominated for the first one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not how.
It's crazy.
Should we do it?
Best actress.
I can go.
Okay.
Okay. Demi Moore, Mikey Madison, Cynthia Erivo, Carla Sofia Gascon, and boy, that fifth one was a tough one. But I'm going to go on the strength of a actor that seems to always get his actresses in, and I'm going to go with Marianne Jean-Baptiste instead of Fernando Torres or Pam Anderson.
I have the same 5 in the same order.
So I have 4 of 5. I've got in order Demi Moore, Mikey Madison, Carlos Sofia Gascon, Cynthia Erivo, and then I do have Fernanda Torres in 5th. I have Marianne Jean-Baptiste in 6th, and then I can't believe I have Pamela Anderson in 7th above Jolie and Kidman, but
I have Pamela Anderson seventh.
that happened. So.
I
I think you're right.
I have the same order that you have, Alfie, for the top 4, and I'm still really undecided on how 5 is going to shake out between Torres and Jean-Baptiste. It's not common for 2 non-English language performances to both get in here. It's only happened 3 times. Last time was 1976. Again, this is just factual information, not like it won't happen because of it. Because every year is another year of these kind of things falling. The best actor stat 2 years ago is one of the greatest examples of that, of an 85-year run coming to an end. I love that. That Globe win for Torres is the thing that absolutely just threw all of this into chaos, because otherwise I think I would have had Jean-Baptiste here, not easily, but with a bit of an edge. I think for the purposes of this podcast, I'm going to go with Torres, though. That Globe win's too strong.
Okay, so before you ask why at the end of what I'm going to say, there's a stat that took me like 45 minutes to verify, but there is no precedent for 4 comedy actresses of the Globes to all make it in.
Yes.
There is not. That has never happened. In light of that, I have Demi Moore, Mikey Madison, Fernanda Torres, Carlos Sofia Gascon, and Marianne Jean-Baptiste.
Okay. So Arriva's getting the boot.
Correct.
There's also we haven't had two musical nominees in Best Actress since 64 or 65.
Is that Julie Andrews and
Mhm.
the fifth one would have been
Debbie Reynolds.
Yeah.
Who?
Debbie Reynolds.
Yeah.
Oh, Debbie Reynolds. Okay.
It's a long time. That's a long time. So yeah, we are definitely looking at a lot of that kind of stuff. Yeah, it is. It's Debbie Reynolds.
I maintain.
Oh, that actually was 64. You're talking
64.
Mary Poppins and Unsinkable Molly Brown.
Yeah.
That was 64. 65. She was nominated for Sound of Music. Okay.
Yeah. It was 60,
Okay.
It was 64.
64. Right.
That's a
I
long time.
maintain that Arrivo.
I was 2.
Grande's not getting in without Arrivo. It makes no sense to just vote for Grande and not vote for Arrivo.
I think people are voting for Arrivo. I just don't think they're voting for her in first place.
Yeah.
I think they are. If they're voting for Grande in first place, they're voting for Arrivo in first place. Grande is the lesser of the two performances. And the optics of nominating, I mean, I know the Academy always has bad optics, but the Tony winning role not getting nominated over Grande, I think, to me, just doesn't make sense. Because the Wicked is so much of Wicked is Elphaba.
We haven't even talked about
what's that?
We haven't even talked about like screen time and category fraud, any of that. We haven't even touched.
I mean, I just want to also say, like, to play devil's advocate, that they didn't nominate Barbie for Barbie, and that happened last year.
Well, that was the comparison I was thinking of. Because I think we all said, how can you nominate Ken and not Barbie? So
Barbie doesn't sing Defy Gravity. So
that's
basically up there with I Am Telling You I'm Not Going.
I mean, and I think all you have to look at if you're going to make that comparison is that it's not Ken that you should be looking at that got in. It's America Ferrera getting in for the speech,
right?
Versus Margot Robbie not getting in for everything that she did.
Right.
So I don't think it's really a fair comparison, because Arrivo does get to end part 1 with Defying Gravity. And then it's like, how do you, if you're in the bag for this movie, you can't not be for Arrivo.
Yeah. I also maintain, and I know this isn't a popular opinion, but I don't think the Globe win for Torres means nearly as much as other things. I think it was just an odd category. And with the new rules of the Globes and the new voting body,
those
30 Brazilians, they came through.
I think it just changes how that category works or how voting works. So taking up past precedent that the drama actress has never not gotten nominated, I think holds less water considering all the changes that have happened. Plus, she hasn't shown up anywhere else. I think BAFTA plus Critics' Choice for MJB is a stronger combination. She didn't even get longlisted at BAFTA.
Of the ladies that got all 4 major precursors, do you have all of them making it in?
Oh yeah, I don't have it. That's why my 4 is my 4.
Okay, because there's generally one that gets knocked out.
It's not. I mean, I always look at that too, and I'm really careful about that. And it's
the one
funny thing about it is that it's usually somebody that's going to be the lone nominee for their film, or that movie gets another random nomination and they miss. We also look. It's largely previous winners and people that have already been here. So.
Which is why I thought Jolie was going to fit in that spot, and then
And
she
she
got
got
in back, and she wasn't eligible at BAFTA.
Yep,
she was eligible.
Well, I mean, she wasn't shortlisted, so
yeah.
That's the one thing I wanted to say is I do think Jolie could be a spoiler just because she's following the exact same path as Kristen Stewart did for Spencer. She hit and missed all the same places that Spencer did. She's the only one in the category playing a real person other than Fernanda Torres, but Maria Callas is like
it's more biopic-y.
more biopic-y. So that I think tilts in her favor a little bit. The movie was not as well received as Spencer, but
Yeah.
that hurts her. But I think I'm not predicting her. I took her out, but I think she's a spoiler.
I mean, Stewart was the overwhelming critics winner that year, just by an enormous degree, and she did at least get BAFTA long listed.
I was gonna ask that. She did get long listed.
They just said no to Diana stuff.
Yeah.
I also think it's interesting that at least from what it looks like, that obviously Emilia Perez is the big push from Netflix, but it feels like Netflix was pushing Jolie way more than Gascon in terms of individual campaign. And I think at the end of it, like whoever gets in this category, like there's going to be a lot of stats being broken.
Yep.
And like the biggest one is that like having an openly trans nominee in the actress, like that's going to be huge.
But that still makes me nervous, by the way. And also because I've been reading in a bunch of different places that people have heard that a bunch of people are actually voting for Saldana in here.
I don't see that happening.
I mean, but people have verified with voters who said, I am voting for Saldana for lead.
It definitely feels like since
I know where that's coming from. I'm just
that
not
like
buying it.
That like the campaigns are like set. Like there's never going to be a situation where we have someone accidentally submitted in a different category at SAG. Like that's never going to happen again. You're not going to see a thing where like the Keisha Castle Hughes thing where it just changes on its own, or the Kate Winslet thing of like having multiple. Like I think we're in an era of campaigning where they're like, it's here, you can't move it anywhere else, and like.
Well, I mean, like Keith Stanfield kind of defies that a little bit, but
that was COVID.
It only defied it in the sense that he was not on the real radar as a lead nominee, so showing up.
But he was being campaigned as lead.
Yes, but he wasn't competitive.
Yeah,
he wasn't in the top 10 that year.
Yeah. It's just like at all.
Yeah,
I think that had more to do with Judas and the Black Messiah being like the last movie they watched.
Recency bias,
yeah, and the fact that like I think because Kaluuya was so far ahead in number one votes, like I feel like that happens every year, which is why I'm really interested to see what happens in supporting actor this year, because I think Culkin is way ahead of everybody else.
Oh yeah,
that whenever there's someone who's way ahead, there's always a surprise like fifth nominee. Like when Ki Hee Kwan won and Brian Tyree Henry was in fifth, like it was like, where did that come from? So
I think that's a really good point, because we are going to have some of these contenders with so much of an overwhelming lead with those number one votes that when you do get to 4 and 5, that's how the door gets opened.
Because it screws up.
When everything is like a lot closer, it's like not so much.
Yeah,
absolutely that.
This is how Glenn Close can still get nominated for The Deliverance.
I want it to happen.
The shocker. That'd be the soccer.
Missing from makeup and hairstyling.
What a travesty. Ugh.
Right. So we have 2 for Torres, 2 for not Gascon, for Baptiste, and then Chesco, you're saying both, right?
Yes.
Okay.
With a Revo out.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Again, I may change my mind on Tuesday. I'm not. I don't know.
Well, Chesco has such street cred with that Reisenberg. So,
thank you. By the way,
just want to also really quickly echo. I think Alfie, you're correct that Pamela Anderson is like 7th, 8th. I think she's closer than people think she is, just because the recency bias of The Last Showgirl, the fact that it's hitting right now, where voting is at its peak. Jamie Lee Curtis is, has parachuted in. And also, I feel like with the SAGs, the fact that she got in there shows that not a lot of people had seen the movie at that point, but that shows to me that there was a high percentage of people who saw the movie, who liked the movie, who liked her. So
I haven't seen the movie yet, but I also wonder.
I haven't seen it either. I don't know.
If it's all, the role seems more sympathetic, and I feel, having just watched Hard Truths, that I wonder how many voters will be turned off by the abrasiveness of Marianne Jean-Baptiste's character. And I'm like,
Yeah.
shouldn't be a factor, but especially in lead actress, it tends to be a factor. Like, so even though we're thinking it's either Torres or Jean-Baptiste, like if Pamela Anderson, just because is a more likable character and is peaking at the right time, all of a sudden takes that fit spot.
I mean, even just
But I
look,
also feel like
got,
her narrative is canceled out by Demi Moore right now. So
Right.
she got BAFTA and SAG, and people have gotten in with less than that.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
But anyway, we did it. We did Best Actress.
Woo!
and no Kate Winslet.
And no Kate Winslet.
You know
Hannah
that
Schmidt's Memorial
one of
Award.
the major outlets
Is predicting her. Yes.
is predicting Winslet.
Yes.
And has her in the 5th spot.
Yes.
Oh wow.
I don't
I
acknowledge
saw.
that.
No, it's embarrassing.
It's brainworms. All right, Best Picture. I feel like we're going to have 8 or 9 all aligned, and then that last one. But I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Who wants to go first?
We could just like go through each one and be like, do we all agree on this one?
That's what we did. That's what we did in our podcast
Yeah, let's do that.
the other week because there were so many that were the same.
Okay.
I can go first, and then you tell me whether you have it or not.
Yes.
Because
Okay.
I feel like I have the biggest kind of like tangent at the end. Does everybody have Conclave?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Does everybody have an aura?
Yes.
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 Okay. Is somebody keeping count? Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Does everybody have the Brutalist?
Yes.
Okay. A Complete Unknown.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The Substance.
Yes.
Yes.
Wicked.
Yes.
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 Okay. Emilia Perez.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Dune
Perez.
Part 2.
Yes.
Yes.
That's 8.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
right.
So this is where I went off on a tangent.
I can't wait. I
In
can't wait.
that, okay, my number 9 is Sing Sing. And my number 10 is I'm Still Here.
Okay.
Oh wow.
All
Okay.
right.
Does anyone else have Sing Sing?
No.
So you have subscribed to the other large outlets top 10.
I have subscribed to the fact that I have Macklin in, and that to me says that it's also getting in this picture.
Okay.
All right. So the 9 and 10 spot are differing for everyone.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, probably not.
Well,
For me.
I don't have Sing Sing because I don't trust A24 to campaign more than one film.
Nope.
So I have A Real Pain in 9th, which is going to be it's going to be a low total anyway because it's going to be just supporting actor and screenplay.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 10th, I still have Nickel Boys, and that's going to be just picture and screenplay. But
Same. You and
I feel good about the other contenders because I feel like I have Sing Sing in 11th, September 5 in 12th, All We Imagine Is Light in 13th, Challengers in 14th, and Wild Robot in 15th.
Hold it. Did we say Wicked?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. God, all of a sudden I'm like,
What
wait
was
a
your
minute.
number 8, Chesco?
And number 8 for me,
Yeah.
I had Doom Part 2.
Okay. Right. That's yeah.
So what are your 9 and 10, John?
I have what you have. I have Nickel Boys and A Real Pain.
Same.
Yep.
My 11th, though, and people are going to laugh at me, but I have Challengers.
I have Sing Sing.
Yeah, I have Sing Sing in 11. I still think Challengers is in the top 15. It's just not going to happen.
I had to justify it being it's going to show up other places, I think.
Yeah.
So that to me bumps it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just also feel like if this was a year with the old rules, that we would not have 10 nominees.
I agree.
Agree.
Yeah.
Probably 8.
Yeah, 7 or 8. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, yes, the point really does kind of stand. The A24 just struggles here
Mhm.
year after year. It's done it once. Searchlight Pictures does not. They're very good at it. And yeah, I think Alfie, you and I are very aligned. Real Pain is going to have picture, screenplay, supporting actor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where people feel the original screenplay winner is, but I think it could absolutely be a Real Pain over Anora. So yeah, I feel pretty good about that. Nickel Boys being in 10th is sort of women talking, but without being able to win adapted screenplay.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's pretty close. It's pretty close.
Ugh.
I just went with my gut. As
That's
I usually do.
DGA now, though, for September 5.
Yeah. That's why I put it in screenplay. I mean, it could get here, yes, of course. But I don't know.
It's really, to me, it's really not about the movie. It's about like the politics behind it. And yeah, I feel like there's going to be people that vote for it and then people that refuse to vote for it for reasons that have nothing to do with its merits.
Are you talking about September 5th?
Yes.
Yeah. I have already read some of the stuff about it.
It's some Looney Tune stuff.
It's really Looney Tune stuff.
Yes. But it is happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to just bring up, this has nothing to do with anything, but if Rob or Alfie are 10 are the right 10, Nickel Boys and Real Pain are the last two, that means Conclave will be the second shortest of the nominees. And since the expansion, the second shortest has won 6 times, more than any other length.
Wow.
I feel like Conclave sounds like a really realistic, like, consensus.
I mean, it's
winner.
probably going to win SAG, maybe.
Conclave has this spotlight feeling.
Yeah.
I keep going back to, like, Brutalist, everybody complains about the length, and this movie has this, and this movie's too, and I go like, there's Conclave right in the middle, feeling very, spotlight.
Milk toast.
I loved it. I thought it was ridiculous, and I loved it.
Yes.
I love the pageantry of it all. It was just so entertaining.
I've had Conclave and in the number one spots since I did my first predictions for this season.
You have it winning? You have it winning Best Picture?
It feels like an easy thing to win.
Predict. Yeah.
I feel like
this is before a lot of things happened, but it was certainly amplified by the election that we had.
Yeah.
Yep. I could see a totally split year of this year again. I could see Conclave getting picture and Brutalist getting.
Yeah. I don't know if Conclave's going to win SAG. Could. If there was a category, there's stunt ensemble, but if there was cunt ensemble, it would absolutely win.
Oh my God. Please make that happen.
Why does Gallica not have that category? Jeez.
Ensemble. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So with the total number of nominations, I don't know if any of you have already counted that up, but I have Emilia Perez leading with 11, and then I have the Brutalist and Conclave with 10.
Okay. I needed the math. I haven't looked at it yet.
I didn't count.
Nope, I have not either.
10.
Sounds about right.
Because then I have A Complete Unknown and Wicked getting 8, Anora and Dune getting 6, The Substance with 4, Real Pain with 3, Nickel Boys with 2, and like I said, Nosferatu with 4, and then Sing Sing and Wild Robot with 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm still here with 2. So those are the multiple nominees.
Okay.
And I have Michaela's Voice, A Letter to the World with 7.
Michaela's getting in lead, and her voice is
strong. She can project. Strong diaphragm.
It figures it would push the voice as supporting.
All right, well, we did it. Those are our predictions. We'll see what happens on Thursday.
Thursday.
Right?
Yes, Thursday.
5:30
a.m.
And I'm sure we'll be back with our analysis soon after that.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you, Erik. Thank you, Alfie. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jamie Lee Curtis. Always. And Eugene.
As a net.
As a net.
That's a net.
Every now
Maybe
and then we fall
Born.
apart.
All right.
Anyway, see you next time for Words Whisperers. Bye.
All right, thanks, John.